FM 95.4.
Let's talk.
Live on TFM and the TFM Facebook page. This is the live feed of TTV. Let's talk.
Hello and welcome to the Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for today. Oman witnessing rise in COVID-19 cases. Travelers coming to Oman must book hotels via the Sahala platform. Violators of VAT to face strict penalties in Oman. Spain restarts use of AstraZeneca vaccine as incidence of coronavirus creeps upwards. San Francisco mayor announces efforts to protect public safety and combat anti-Asian violence. New Zealand cricketers, Olympians may get vaccinated on priority. Oman a very good side, says Indian football team head coach. Those were the headlines for today. Now let's take a look at the weather updates.
This is Maythal Shukeli with today's weather update. And at the moment, I'm standing outside the TFM studio in Al Khuwair. Before we move on to weather, here is our fact for the day. The 43-day storm that began in December 1861 put central and northern California underwater up to 6 months. That is our fact for the day. Now join me inside the studio and we'll move on to weather. An alert has been issued by Oman Meteorology and Civil Aviation Authorities saying that there will be poor visibility due to the fog formation and there will be mainly clear skies in the Sultanate with chances of rising winds over the Far and chances of late night to early morning low-level clouds or fog patches over the parts of South Al-Sharqiyya, Al-Wusta, the Far and along the coastal areas of Oman Sea. And now let's take a look at how the weather will be like in all the governorates. Muscat will be sunny, temperatures between 32 to 23 degrees Celsius. Musandam will be sunny, temperatures between 31 to 24 degrees Celsius. North Al-Batana will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 28 to 22 degrees Celsius. South Al-Batana will be sunny, temperatures between 32 to 19 degrees Celsius. Al-Buraymi will be sunny, temperatures between 37 to 24 degrees Celsius. Al-Dhahira will be sunny, temperatures between 36 to 22 degrees Celsius. Al-Dakhiliya will be sunny, temperatures between 35 to 20 degrees Celsius. North Al-Sharqiyya will be sunny, temperatures between 35 to 20 degrees Celsius. South Al-Sharqiyya will be partly cloudy, temperatures between 37 to 24 degrees Celsius. Al-Wusta will be sunny, temperatures between 35 to 20 degrees Celsius. And the Far will also be sunny, temperatures between 26 to 19 degrees Celsius.
Welcome back to the Midday Update. Let's start by taking a look at the COVID-19 updates for today. The Ministry of Health has registered 6 new deaths due to COVID-19, taking the total death toll in the Sultanate to 1,650. The ministry has extended its deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. The Ministry of Health has also announced the registration of 733 new COVID-19 cases, taking the total cases in the Sultanate to 153,838. In the past 24 hours, there have been 546 recoveries and the total number of recoveries now stand at 140,766. The ministry has urged everyone to adhere to social distancing instructions issued by the Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health. Now for some local stories. The Sultanate is witnessing an alarming rise in coronavirus cases. Dr. Faryal Al-Lawati, Senior Consultant of Infectious Diseases and Head of the Infectious Disease Unit at the Royal Hospital, confirmed in a statement to the Oman News Agency the following. One of the reasons for the high incidence of COVID-19 in the Sultanate is the failure to apply precautionary measures such as wearing a mask in the correct way and sterilizing hands. Also, gatherings at social events and shopping centers and the lack of commitment of some travelers in following procedures of domestic or institutional isolation has led to the rise in cases. Travelers who are coming to Oman must book for hotel accommodations through the Sahala platform from March 29th at 2 p.m. onwards, Omani Cultural Attaché in London said. A statement issued online by the Omani Cultural Attaché in London said the following. Those coming to the Sultanate as of 2 p.m. on Monday, March 29, 2021, must reserve hotel accommodations and institutional isolation through the Sahala platform. Diplomats working foreign diplomatic missions accredited to Oman, diplomats visiting the Sultanate and their families, those aged 15 years and above, and those people aged 60 years and above are exempted from isolation. Patients are also exempted due to their health conditions. Oman has envisioned a series of strict penalties for violators of the value-added tax or VAT that will be effective from April 16th this year. The tax authority has said that the minimum penalties stipulated are imprisonment for a period of not less than 2 months or a fine that is not less than 1,000 Omani riyals. The maximum penalties reach imprisonment for 3 years and a fine that does not exceed Omani riyals 20,000. And in the event of recurrence, the court may double the fine and increase the legally prescribed maximum penalty for imprisonment by more than half of this limit. In the event that the tax payment is delayed, the law imposes a rate of 1% of the value of the unpaid tax for each month of delay or part thereof, starting from the end of the specified period for payment and up to the date of payment. The law has mentioned 17 cases in Articles 100 and 101, and it includes cases of willful failure to implement some of its provisions, cases of providing incorrect data and documents, and cases of doing what would hinder the employees of the tax authority or who are required to carry out their duties. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back.
It's about time we kicked COVID-19 out of our lives. Join us on TTV Outline every Monday and let us learn how to fight COVID together.
Welcome back to the Midday Update. Now for some international stories. Spain restarted the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine on Wednesday after a temporary suspension over fears of its relevance with blood clotting as daily COVID-19 vaccination peaks record high in the country. The return of the vaccine saw an increase of vaccination on Wednesday with 210,897 doses of vaccine administered, the highest daily vaccination since the start of Spain's vaccination program on December 27, 2020. A total of 6,620,093 doses of vaccine have been administered since then, with 2,276,233 people receiving both doses of the vaccine. Also on Wednesday, the Spanish Ministry of Health confirmed 7,026 new COVID-19 cases, lifting the total number of cases to 3,241,345. The total number of deaths increased by 320 to 74,064. We are at a key moment in which we have to tighten our controls, Health Minister Carolina Darius told a press conference on Wednesday. As the world is struggling to contain the pandemic, vaccination is underway in many countries with the already authorized coronavirus vaccines. Meanwhile, 266 candidate vaccines are still being developed worldwide, 83 of them in clinical trials in countries including Germany, China, Russia, Britain, and the United States, according to information released by the World Health Organization on March 23rd. US San Francisco Mayor London Breed on Wednesday announced new efforts to advance public safety in the city and provide targeted support to members of San Francisco's Asian and Pacific Islander or IAPI community. The first effort is an expanded community safety teams program that will provide outreach, support, and engagement in key neighborhood corridors throughout the city. The second is the extension of a program to accompany seniors to medical and personal appointments, the announcement said. This effort will be accomplished through an expansion of the Street Violence Intervention Program or SVIP and partnership with community organizations rooted in San Francisco's API communities. The collaboration between SVIP and API community-based organizations will ensure these teams are culturally competent and can collectively advance the work of building a racial solidarity while also increasing public safety. The city is working to create the teams as quickly as possible and expects that the teams will be in the neighborhood corridors no later than the beginning of summer, according to the announcement. The city is also investing in continuing a senior escort program, which provides individuals to accompany seniors to medical and personal appointments, such as going to the bank, grocery store, or the doctor's office. This program provides seniors with the added security of having a companion when walking around or taking transit. This program is currently focused in Chinatown, and the city will work with senior service centers and providers in other communities to assess interest in expanding to other areas of the city. The announcement builds upon two recent initiatives that Breed announced to prevent repeat offences and gun violence in the city. Let's take a short commercial break and we'll be back with the sports stories.
It's about time we kicked COVID-19 out of our lives. Join us on TTV Outline every Monday and let us learn how to fight COVID together.
Welcome back to the Midday Update. Now for the sports news. New Zealand cricketers, Olympians and Paralympians may get early vaccinations after the government announced eligibility criteria on Wednesday. New Zealand's COVID-19 response minister Chris Hipkins has laid out that all those athletes who are representing New Zealand in large sporting events like playing Olympics or representing Black Caps may be eligible for getting early jabs. The application process for vaccination begins on March 31st, and it will all boil down to New Zealand Cricket or NZC and the New Zealand Olympic Committee applying for early vaccinations. New Zealand is slated to play 2 tests against England in June this year. Then the side would play the ICC World Test Championship final against India at the Rose Bowl in Southampton from June 18 to 22nd. On the other hand, the Tokyo Olympics is scheduled to take place from July 23rd to August 8th. India is taking on Oman in Dubai today, March 25th, in the first of 2 international friendlies, with the second match against the UAE slated for March 29th. Earlier, Indian football team head coach Igor Stamak had said, "I think it is going to be an interesting game. We have seen Oman playing and they are a really good side, well organized, and they are patient in their game. So we need to find a way to match that style." Sandesh Jhingan, the Indian national team player, also took part in the press conference and said that playing for the country is the greatest honor for any player. Igor Stamak said the 2 upcoming international friendlies will be an opportunity for youngsters to gain as much experience as they can, asserting that they are not obsessed with the results. Stamak also stated that he was excited to watch the Indian Super League and seeing young players playing fearless football. Those were all the stories for today. We'll be back on Sunday with Midday Updates, so stay tuned.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.